Hello there everyone and welcome to a new review on the channel, and today we're going to be looking at a bit of an older product, not that old. This came around Christmas time, and this is Toys by Craig Petty and ALAKAZAM Magic. I think this came really under the radar because it came out when a lot of other effects were coming out, a lot of new releases were coming out, and a lot of good stuff was coming out, so it kind of went under the radar, and I think that's a bit unfortunate because this is actually a pretty good thing if you are a kid's magician, but also if you want to work a bit with adults or teenagers. I think this can still hit a bit home depending how you perform it. So we're going to unpack everything that you need to know about toys right after the intro. Perfect, so you decide to stick around, which means you want to learn more about toys. So what is toys? Toys is essentially a magazine page that will allow you to do a bunch of effects. Now, I won't perform all of the effects for you, but I can do one of the most simplest kind of effects from the bunch. I also have these. We'll come back to what these are later. Okay, I'll also take this one out because we're going to use it for that. So you would place a prediction on the table, and then you would introduce this magazine. People could look through it, see different things. And then I hope that you see it from here, but we're going to focus on the images here. So what I'm going to have you do is, you can even follow with your finger if you want because it's through the screen. I want you to think of any of the animals that you see. So think of any of the animals that you see. Perfect. And that's going to be your starting point. Now go left or right to the nearest vehicle. Did you do that? Excellent. Now go up or down to the nearest animal again. Got it? Perfect. Now go diagonally. You can go diagonally to the left, to the right, down left. It is up to you. Just go diagonally to the next vehicle. Perfect. And now go left or right to the nearest animal. Excellent. So now you've landed essentially on a random animal. You could have started anywhere. You could have went diagonally through a bunch of different positions, but you ended up on a specific animal that you now have in mind, right? And I couldn't possibly know because you're not even here. You're through the screen. And I had a prediction on the table from the start for the first time. What is your animal? You would say it. Of course, I wouldn't hear it, but I would show you that it is the deal of the week. That is my prediction. It is the deal of the week. And you may be asking yourself, okay, but that's not what I named. But the thing is, you look through this magazine, right? You inspected it. And actually, at the end of the magazine, if you actually were looking through it, there's a deal of the week. And the deal of the week is on all of the T-Rex dinosaur toys. And I hope that's what you went for as well. So that is a performance of one of the many routines that you can do with Toys by Craig Petty. So now that you know what it is, let's talk about where you get it, how much does it cost, and what do you get. So you can purchase this directly from ALAKAZAM Magic. It is only available through them at the moment of writing. It will set you back £35/35 USD/50-ish Canadian dollars. I personally got this on sale. It was on sale a few weeks ago for 35 Canadian dollars, which is like 25 USD. So keep an eye on that. It could go on sale. And what you get with your purchase is this. You're going to get this pouch. Inside of this pouch, you're going to get one of these. This is one of your magazines. It looks really, really good. I'm going to unpack more of what you get in a moment in the magazine. You're going to get one of those magazines. You're going to get a spare magazine. So in case that one you lose it, it breaks or whatever, you get a spare magazine as well. And as I have to say, these are the same paper that you find on your magazines when they get delivered to you by mail. And then you're also going to get these, which these will serve, that was the tutorial video, but you also get these, which are going to serve you in one of routine as a prediction. So they're made out of like, it's really nice. They're made out of like credit card stock. They're really, really cool. They're very well made, so you get these provided to you as well. And then, as I said, you get an instructional video. The instructional video is to the point. It's not overly long. It tells you what the routines are, how to do them, and that's pretty much it. It's to the point, direct, and really easy to follow. And Craig Petty, as always, is a great teacher, and in this one, he does no fault. So now that you know the things that you get, I just want to tell you the routines that you get, because this is not a limitless array of effects, you still have a limited array of effects that you can do this. The first one that you can do is on this page, which is the one that I just showed you, which is revealing the dinosaur, the T-Rex, either if you want with the prediction or direct mind reading, however you want, you get that. Then you get this, my bad, you get this page right over here, which is essentially made for a gossip style routine. Someone is going to think of an odd number, someone is going to think of an even number. They're going to pair them together to find a list and a certain thing on the list, and you'll be able to predict what that is. Afterwards, you're going to get this routine, which is someone is going to think of one of the toys over here, and then you'll be able to reveal what the toy is by asking them a few questions. You then get this one as well, which is a really cool one. A spectator is going to think of a 2-digit number from 10 to 50. Then they're going to do some additions and subtractions to that number to end on a completely different number. They're going to look at the movie that corresponds to that, and you'll be able to reveal it. So these are the routines that you get. You're essentially getting a 1, 2, 3, 4 routines. And on the back here, you get some reveals. This is a reveal that you can use with the movie prediction, and this is a reveal that you can use with the actual face of the pamphlet. So essentially, you're getting a 4-effect structured act that you can do with the routines from the pamphlet. So you're getting all of this plus all of those routines and tuition. Okay. So now that we discussed all of that, what is the difficulty of this? Well, the difficulty of this is super simple. I mean, the first effect is extremely easy. You just have to remember 4 lines of script. You're able to do it. This effect, it's relatively easy. I'd say this one is more intermediate. There are some moving parts. There are some mentalism principles that you have to put in place. There are some instructions you have to put in place. So this one is rather a bit more intermediate. This one over here is pretty much self-working. And this one over here is pretty much self-working as well. So overall, most of the effects out of here, well, basically 75% of the effects in the pamphlet are self-working, easy to do. There's just one that involves a bit more than the rest, okay? Now that you know that, let's get into practicality. So how practical is this? This is pretty practical to perform. All you need is the pamphlet, so you can easily fold it even more. I personally just keep mine like this, but you can even fold it more if you want. You can even fold it like an 8 and have it in your wallet, and that's pretty much all you need. These cards you can use if you want. They don't take much space, but if you, let's say you want to do a minimalistic approach, you can just carry around the pamphlet, and instead of using these cards as your predictions, you can do it mentally. So you can do a mental reveal of what the object is they're thinking of without using the cards if you so wish. So in terms of carrying capacity, it is pretty pack flat. In terms of repeatability, the effects are not repeatable. Only 1 or 2 of them are repeatable. This one is not repeatable. The one with the movies is not repeatable. This one is repeatable as long as the numbers are different. And this one is repeatable as long as the object is different. So half of the routines are repeatable, half of them are not. In terms of reset, everything is an instant reset. In terms of inspectability, they are relatively inspectable. This one is fully inspectable. This one is fully inspectable. This one, I wouldn't have them look too much at it, so it's not really inspectable. And this one, if they were to look much more at it, they would maybe notice something, but even then it's not that glaring. So overall, at a quick glance, anyway, the spectators, most of the routines have these in their hands. They're reading it, they're looking at it. You even invite them at the start to examine it and look at it. And even me knowing the secret here, I'm looking and I don't actually really see it at a quick glance. So, I would say this is inspectable by a lot of stretch of the imagination. In terms of a table, you do not need a table whatsoever to perform any of the effects. Now let's talk about where you would actually perform these effects. These effects work perfectly anywhere that you want to do them. So this, I feel, would work perfectly even virtually. The first effect that I did could easily be done virtually. Same for almost all of these effects can be done virtually, which is nice. So even this one you can do virtually. This one you can do virtually. This one, the writing is a tad small, But most of the effects you could do virtually, so that is very fun as well. So you can do them virtually, you can do them in close-up, table hopping, cabaret, stage, parlor, anywhere you want to do them, you will be able to do these effects. Having covered all of that, what are the positives and negatives of toys? First, let's get into the negative. So one of the negatives of toys is specifically on this page right here. The writing is a bit small. So I have performed it to a few people that when they were looking, they don't have really good eyesight, especially like even me without my glasses. At this distance, I can't read any of them. So my eyesight is so bad, I can't even read. I would have to be this close with bad eyesight to be able to read because the items are very small. With glasses or with good eyesight, it is completely fine. But keep that in mind because I did perform it to some people that don't have the best eyesight. And well, it was a bit of a challenge for them to look through the list and find what they need to do. That's one of the things. A second one is that some of the effects will always have the same outcome. So half of the effects that you can do with this will always have the same outcome. So also keep that in mind. And lastly, you also want to make this, you want to do this to people that can follow instructions. That is very important because almost all of the effects here, basically all of them, follow a procedure. So if someone doesn't really understand or comprehend the procedure or are a bit, tipsy or whatnot, it could get a bit complicated, but overall, those are the biggest negatives that I can find. In terms of positives, however, it's very fun to do. You have a ton of effects. You have almost an entire set. You can probably do 10 or 12 minutes just with this to an audience, which is fantastic. It's very well made. You get everything that you need to do. You get a spare. The tuition is great. I think the pricing for it is pretty good as well. You can do this for adults, kids. You can do this for older people, for younger people, for teens. You can do this pretty much for everyone. It's relatively easy to do. It can be performed in a ton of scenarios, which is a major bonus as well. So having said all of this, would I recommend Toys by Craig Petty and ALAKAZAM Magic? My honest answer is that if you're someone that performs to a lot of weddings or a lot of events where there are kids, okay? And those kids always want to see something, and you also want to show something to the kid and the parent at the same time, I think Toys is one of the best things that you could have with you. So I would see myself at a gig because I usually do 18 plus gigs, but I do have a few gigs coming up where there will be kids. I will 100% put Toys in one of my pockets so that if I'm performing to an adult and a kid wants something to see, being able to perform for the kid and the adult at the same time by making sure that the adult is following with the kid, this will slay both the kid and the adult and it will work perfectly. So purely because of that, I fully recommend it. If that has ever happened to you and you didn't have material, or that usually happens to you and you want some material, go no further than Toys by Craig Petty. It packs small and it can play to a table of kids and adults. I'm giving Toys by Craig Petty an 8.75 on 10. I think it's fantastic, it's easy to do, and it's to the point, and I think a lot of you are going to enjoy this product. As always, if you have any additional questions, leave them down below. If not, I'll see you all in my next review. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.